Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The Labour Department is calling on all former workers of Highline Poultry Farm Limited to an urgent meeting necessary to verify a submission made by representative of the new owners regarding the lengths of service and termination packages of the former staff. The meeting is scheduled for Friday, the 6th of March from 1 p.m. at the Labour Department. Following the review of the submissions and consultation with the affected workers, the Labour Department hopes to outline the process to amicably resolve the outstanding grievances. The Acting Labour Commissioner, Cornelia Jabatis, says this matter will be resolved in accordance with St. Lucia's labour laws and in the best interest of maintaining a cordial industrial climate. So again, that meeting is taking place on Friday at 1 p.m. at the Labour Department. Senior government official Nancy Charles has laughed off the buzz surrounding an announcement by Prime Minister Allen Chastanet in relation to Rat Island and the COVID-19 virus. Shortly after a NEMAC meeting which was held over the weekend, the PM indicated that Rat Island is marked in the nation's law book as an area that can be used as a quarantine zone in the event of an outbreak or epidemic. This statement did not sit well with scores of social media users who were up in arms over the notion. On Thursday morning, however, Charles said the PM's words were grossly misconstrued.
The issue of Rat Island came up. It was not an issue that say Rat Island is a quarantine area. The Prime Minister was trying to show, and the CABSEC also supported him in that, was trying to show that the level of preparation and seriousness and the options that we have been looking at for St. Lucia in case there is an outbreak means that we have left no stone unturned, including the option of Rat Island being looked at as an option to be in a quarantine area.
Charles says this is simply a case of people taking small pieces of a whole statement to make it appear to be something that it is not. California has declared a state of emergency after announcing its first coronavirus death, bringing the U.S. death toll from the disease to 11. A 71-year-old man had underlying health conditions and had been on a cruise ship. 11 passengers and 10 crew members are potentially infected on board the Grand Princess, now being held off the coast of California. There are now at least 150 reported U.S. patients with COVID-19 in 16 states. Meanwhile, Washington and Florida both declared states of emergency over the weekend to help prevent the coronavirus. Such a declaration gives cities and counties the ability to ask the state or other municipalities for aid if and when their resources are depleted. Officials said that a state of emergency is meant to expedite the distribution of resources and should not be cause for panic. Worldwide, authorities have confirmed more than 92,000 cases of the virus, of which more than 80,000 are in China. More than 3,000 people have died globally, the vast majority in China, where the virus originated. The social behaviors of children tend to place them at greater risk of infectious conditions like the cold, flu, and coronavirus. Parents and guardians are therefore being called upon to take the necessary precautionary measures to prevent the spread of germs among this age group. More from Fernell Neptune.
As the Department of Health and Wellness continues to prepare for the threat of the coronavirus, parents and guardians are being provided with guidance on ways to reduce a child's risk of infection. Director of the Bureau of Health Education, Natasha Lloyd Felix, encouraged parents to ensure their children practice good hygiene in order to prevent the spread of germs.
We're encouraging that parents have their children wash their hands thoroughly from home, so that when they're in school environments of play, or in another place where the parent may not be present, that habit has already been developed. Parents, we ask you please, when your children are at home, model hand washing. You need to show your child how to hand wash by you doing it yourself. What we have noted to be an area of importance is the duration that is given for hand washing. One way of helping your child is by singing the alphabet song to your child. That actually gives the period of 20 seconds that is required to have enough time to thoroughly hand wash. Ensure your child gets the palms covered. Ensure your child is able to go between the fingers, under the nails, the back of the hands, to allow for thorough hand washing.
Lloyd Felix also spoke on the best approach for infection prevention in schools.
If perchance you notice your child is unwell, we are now in the flu season, the cold season, we ask you to keep your child at home as a way of protecting both your child and other children at school, because by being in the presence of others, the chances of spreading disease, spreading germs, spreading the infection increases. We note that sometimes parents feel that they have no place to place that child, but we ask you please to consider a plan that in the event your child were to become ill, it may not necessarily be from corona. If it was present in St. Lucia, it may be the flu, that child can be safely placed there to avoid him or her being in a school environment.
Principals and teachers of schools around the island are encouraged to ensure that hand sanitizers are readily available, and also classroom surfaces are cleaned and disinfected on a daily basis. Reporting from the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Fennel Neptune.
National Security Minister Herman Gil Francis says his ministry and the government, by extension, will not let up on efforts to clamp down on illegal firearms and gun crimes. The minister has proposed to Cabinet legislation that would make firearm offences heard directly by the High Court as opposed to the Magistrates' Court. This is in an effort to have stiffer penalties meted out for these crimes.
Firearm offences is what we call a hybrid offence in St. Lucia. So both the Magistrates' Court and the High Court can deal with it. Based on what was happening, I felt it necessary to try to make some amendments that this matter should go directly to the High Court. The reason for doing that is that the High Court, the sentences at the High Court are more stringent than what obtains in the Magistrates' Court. So that is what I've done. I have in fact sent a memo to Cabinet, and that memo has gone to the Attorney General's office for consultation with the drafters to see how feasible the recommendations that I made can be implemented. But that is ongoing.
He proposes that the services of an expert be engaged to test every legal firearm on island to ensure that law enforcement can keep tabs on these weapons.
We now need to be able to take the DNA of every weapon that has been given to a civilian, a license holder, so that in the event that that weapon has been used, we will know who is the owner, and if that owner did not make a report that the firearm was lost, then they are going to be responsible for that. Because what we have to suspect that some of the firearms that are licensed firearms have been lost, but the persons do not want to report that it is lost, and guys are going to use this firearm. There are firearms that have been stolen off security guards and so on. So we have to be able to find out where the firearms originated and make the connection.
Minister Francis says the marking of ammunition is a step that the government is going to undertake in its continued effort to address the proliferation of firearm offences. He says it is by no means an easy feat to accomplish, but the government is committed to the task. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more coming up after the break.